What's up, YouTube? Right now we're going to be talking about 4 sectors that have had huge dividend suspensions. All of these sectors you must watch out for, and it appears on Robinhood they're still paying out these really juicy dividends, so be careful. So we're going to dive through 4 sectors that have basically suspended all dividends, mainly related to COVID. So we're going to dive into that. Like and sub if you enjoy the content. Let's get in it. First up here, Carnival Cruise Line. So I didn't say they weren't going to be obvious. So on Robinhood, it appears they're paying a 13.73 dividend, which would be a real stellar dividend if it weren't for the fact that Carnival has suspended their dividend. So they are not paying a dividend at all. And this is related to COVID, cash burn, park boats, all that good jazz. So they are not paying a dividend, but it can appear that they are. So we just saw, it appears Carnival Cruise Line is paying a nice dividend, but they clearly are not paying anything at all, which I'm going to say these are all kind of obvious why. So I will break down why, but it is pretty obvious. So Carnival and Norwegian have 0 dividends anymore. They got rid of all of them. Why? No revenue. They're all parked due to COVID-19. All of these are going to be due to COVID-19 and mainly due to lack of revenue. So cruise lines, first one on the list that will have no dividends being paid. Sector 2, gambling and resort stocks. We have MGM here looking to pay out a 2.56 dividend, which would be lovely if not for the fact they cut their dividend down to 1 cent and basically suspended their dividend. So let's talk about these ones now. So what's group number 2 that's trying to fool us? And we just saw it's MGM and the gambling stocks. So MGM didn't technically suspend their dividend, but they did knock it down to 1 cent. So they basically suspended it. So MGM basically suspended their dividend. Wynn Resorts, which I really liked prior to all this, also suspended their dividend. Las Vegas Sands suspended their dividend. Why? The old COVID bear again. So COVID suspended their dividends due to lack of revenue and being shut down, and they could re-shut down. So these dividends might be suspended for a hot minute. So let's move on to group 3. Oh, you had to know we were going to cover airline stocks. So Delta Airlines. I mean, what kind of dividend do we think Delta's paying? Oh, 5.77. That's pretty stinking good, wouldn't you think? If it weren't for the fact that, again, it is suspended. So there we go. Delta Airlines slims the dividend and suspends it. And the next devious little devil that we saw was Delta Airlines. So that one's still appearing to pay a dividend, but it also has been suspended. American Airlines has been suspended. Jets ETF is a bunch of airlines together that is still showing a pretty decent dividend. This one is going to be largely reduced, but it will still be paying a dividend, but largely reduced. It's still showing like a 3% dividend. So airlines, I could see once things reopen, if we don't have a second wave, I could see these dividends happening again, but I would give it like, oh my goodness, at least 1 to 2 years. I mean, how negative were they this year? So 1 to 2 years even before I'd even think these dividends would return. So group number 3 was the airlines that have suspended all their dividends. The last group we will be talking about is autos. So GM here is looking like it's paying a 6.05 dividend, which again, it'd be nice, but you know what's going to happen here is that they have completely suspended their dividend. So halted and suspended their dividend. So we'll dive into the other autos that have also suspended their dividend. So the 4th group that's appearing to pay is autos. So we just saw GM looks like they're still paying a dividend. They have suspended. Ford has suspended. Goodyear has suspended. Advanced Auto Parts have suspended. And all these are looking like they still have dividends. So be careful when you're looking into this. The takeaway from this video is just research the amount the dividend actually is, because so many companies are at least cutting, if not completely suspending their dividend. So do your research. Just Google current payout of blank company and see what they are paying. That's all it takes. Just don't buy a company based on their dividend if they have some stuff coming. Make sure it's a safe dividend too. So all of these suspended. Get something that's safe. Watch out for the second wave. The share prices of these all companies could just take another dump with another wave. So that is all I wanted to share with you. Be careful before you buy these dividend companies. Watch out because it looks like they are still paying dividends. If you like the content, please like and sub, and be careful. Make some money.